President Trump said lots of things which Europe didn't like. Lots. He said lots of things that Europe didn't like in the first administration. And he was right. We like it or not, he was right a lot about a lot of things we had to do right. We have to acknowledge that. Second Trump administration, we leave it now. We see the same style, we see the same type of requests, but we see something that we've seen these days here. It's an elephant in the room. We see parallel with the same request like in the first Trump administration, some direct and non-direct signs in supporting right extreme parties in Europe, which, by the way, are voting in our parliaments against the defense spending. In my country, the presidential candidate, and I was the head of the National Security and Defense Committee, voting for the $6.5 billion spend of F-35s to defend my country first, and because of our strategic partnership. In my country, a candidate spoke against that contract, addressing people that this is a very bad thing to spend money on F-35s for our defense. My question is, how will you deal with this kind of narrative while you will try to convince Europe? And I agree, we should be convinced we should do more about that. And I'm a big fan of that. But how will you address this challenge while supporting the voices which got the vote because they don't want to spend money on defense?
Yeah. Well,
Thank you very much.
I think the, very, it's, I think when you talk about issues like that, that's your issue. It's not our issue. It's just sort of like what was happened today when, I'll give you an example. It's a parallel issue. When I was asked about Ukrainian elections today, I said, that's the issue for the Ukrainian people. The same issue, that's the reason why as a democracy you get a chance to vote about it. And it's one of those things where I think there's a cautionary note that one of our founders of our Constitution, Benjamin Franklin, was asked a question when he came out of our Constitutional Convention. He said, "Mr. Franklin, what have you given it? What have you given us?" And his response was, "A republic, if you can keep it."